Hello, everybody. And today we are doing something that I would like to call MNEK's Intersection, and a live chat, a live discussion amongst fellow, Black queer creatives, performers, just overall amazing, talented people, and to just discuss our experiences as Black queer people in our industries, and finding that we're going to have a lot of common links, we're going to have very similar situations and things that we bond over. And it's really simple as that. I'm not going to try and make it no deep thing, because this is supposed to be fun. This is supposed to be a great discussion. I know I'm so excited to speak to all of you, and I would like for everyone to introduce themselves, say their pronouns, say their occupation, say their star sign as well, because that's also a very important thing for me. So I'm gonna start and say, hi, I'm Uzo, but a lot of people know me as MNEK, and I'm 25, and I am gay, and I represent, I identify as he, him, and I'm Scorpio, and that's my gay. That's what I do. Everyone around the room, starting from the left.
So it's on me.
That's me. That's you.
I don't know what is mine. There's different left here.
Okay, so it's on me. Okay, hi everybody. My name is Cakes. I'm a writer and a performer based in Brooklyn. 29 years old. My pronouns are he, him, and I identify as gay. That was it, right?
Yep.
Oh, I'm a Libra. Right.
Okay, yes, Libra. Thank you.
Yeah.
Next.
Is it me?
Yes.
Yeah. Come on, Brady Bunch.
Sorry, I don't know. I'm confused. Sorry. Hi, everybody. I'm JJ. Everyone knows me as JJ Revlon. I'm a DJ and I don't know, a teacher. I do a lot of shit, to be honest. What else? Sorry, star sign Aries, fire. Up in the building. Apparently it changed though. Apparently I'm a Pisces, but I don't really feel that.
Don't watch that. Like that's who you are. No internet stuff is gonna like change that. That's you.
Right. And I'm 28, and what else is there? Was that it? So occupation.
This Voguing too.
So. Oh yeah, like I Vogue. I'm in the ballroom scene. Hence Revlon at the end of my name. I'm in the House of Revlon. I've been in the House of Revlon for like 5 years. I do a lot in the UK, really.
REV.
LON. I'll dip on this one. Just whoop.
Yup. Okay.
Okay, my turn. Okay, hi, I'm Shantania. I am a YouTuber, influencer, now turned community helper. So I'm working with the youths at the moment, which is so much fun, mental health and all that. I'm gonna go deep into the star sign. I'm an Aries sun, Scorpio moon, and a Virgo rising.
All right.
So I'm a powerful individual, honey. She, her, whatever. And I'm just a free-flowing person with my sexuality, honey. I'm just chilled. Like, what I like is what I like. Period. I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Shamir. I'm a singer-songwriter. I go by all pronouns, he, she, and they. Identify as non-binary, and I'm a Scorpio. If we're doing the big three, I'm a Scorpio sun. My birthday's 2 days before Uzo's, and then I'm a Capricorn moon and a Gemini rising. So.
Ooh, Shamir, you're getting busy. Shamir's extremely talented. So check out Cheeky Their music. And you, Vincent?
I'm Vincent. I'm a writer and a singer. I'm not going to tell you my age. I'm an Aries. I don't know nothing about no moons, but I was born in April. How you doing?
I actually forgot to say my age, so we're together.
Aries!
Aries, come through. Yes, honey. Don't shake your head.
Listen, I like the Aries. I think I'm scarred because my brothers are Aries, and I know that they like to argue.
We like to.
Just
We're
always
right.
right,
We
no
just like to prove the
shade.
point. Yeah,
We're
that's
just right.
it. That's the.
Like we see things and we know things, so we're just gonna voice it. We're too opinionated, but it's not a bad thing. It's the real deal, isn't it?
Now, what I want to ask you guys is which performers / entertainers, public figures growing up did you look at and see any resemblance, like anything that you could aspire to be growing up? I'm going to start with Vince.
I think gay male wise, I didn't really have any. Probably Billy Porter was probably the closest I could relate to, and that's because I watched the first Wives Club and I heard him like squelching, and I was like, oh, I could be like that. But for me, it was mostly women. My mom listened to divas all throughout my childhood, and that's who I related to. I related to Patti LaBelle and Celine Dion and Aretha Franklin, and then I saw Destiny's Child, and I was like, oh, there's a younger version of like what I want to do, a cooler version. And I've always gravitated towards women because they're just better and men are trash, and so it just made sense to me.
Yo.
Wow.
6
At
a.m.
7 o'clock. We're starting early. Wow.
Let's go there.
But yeah.
Okay, all right. And Cakes?
I think for me, the first representation I saw in media would be RuPaul. I remember him having a talk show and just being completely, my mind was blown to see someone up in drags interviewing evangelical beast and shit like that. So yeah, definitely RuPaul.
Yeah. That makes total sense. He's been around for so long that even the younger generation are getting this version of him, but he's been around for decades. Like, this is not new to me. Amazing. Okay, Shamir, what do you think?
I think to piggyback off of Vincent, like, I think there's two for me. They're both women. First, for like an older one, it's probably Odetta. She's an old American folk singer.
Okay.
I don't know. She's just kind of just like the first Black femme with the guitar and her afro, you know, in the 50s, singing and killing it. And then more recently, I kind of like realized once I kind of like came back to it, Shingi from the Noisettes. Loved her growing up. She was everything for me. She was kind of like, this is who I want to be. This is what I want to do. So yeah, those two people.
Every time I've ever seen her on stage, she's just all regal. Like, she's always just been so unapologetically like Black and stunning and talented and just like commanding the room wherever she is.
But a rock star.
So a rock star, period. Like, there's no two ways about it. Okay, Shantania, what do you think? What's your who is your, you know, when you think about all the people that you wanted to be growing up, and even like the job that you have is very like, you know, it's the newest idea of a job, you know what I mean? It's a very new concept. So like, even that, like, who were your people that you looked to and thought, that's who I'm trying to be?
Well, I accidentally fell into this job role, just to let you know. I didn't know what this is going to become, but it was mostly performers to me. Like, I love musicians, like I love Destiny's Child and stuff like that. But like, I used to love the dancehall queens because I grew up in Jamaica. So like, the dancehall queens was like my thing because they're like so confident, they're so energetic, they were just like, yes, bitch. And then there was this actor who like does everything called Shabada. He does like loads of Jamaican plays, so he could dance and stuff like that. And he always like colored his face, make it look like Beach's face. I loved him. Like, I loved flamboyant dancers and stuff like that. It makes me feel like I could do that too, like break out my shell type of thing. I don't feel like I want to be like anybody. I'm cool being like me, but I just like to get that type of confidence from people and stuff that makes them great. I like to imitate that. So yeah, but I like everybody who has a talent, to be honest. I see myself in them.
That's beautiful. I actually love that.
Thank you.
And last but not least, it's Jay Revlon.
Do you know what? Yeah, I feel like this was a setup because I'm actually dying that you said Shabada, because literally it's the first person that came to my brain. Because I used to watch Bashman Granny. Like where I'm from, I live in Peckham, and Bashman Granny was a show that happened in Catford Theatre. And I still follow him on Instagram. He's absolutely hilarious. I'm actually so like, I'm just like gobsmacked that you said that. I love him so much. He's like amazing, fucking, just a being. You know, he was a person that I saw like Skin Out, and also I used to watch all like Pasa Pasa and all them things, which are like old like recordings of like dances that happened in Jamaica. This is all where I learned all the head topping. I could go to the gay club and do my little head top and my little leg up and a little quint. So that was all of that. Also influxes of like Destiny's Child, you know, Writings on the Wall album is still up to now, like speaks volumes to me. And lastly, probably is Noah's Ark, because I feel like I was like quite privileged in like my black gay experience, you know, in terms of like, I don't know, cheating the promoter to believing I was 18. So being in those spaces where I always saw black gays, and then also people speaking and being like, oh, have you seen Noah's Ark? And then watching it with a bunch of black gays, and then like sitting down and watching that. I think I saw a lot in like, I don't know, Noah a little bit. Not really with the not the straight guy situation that happens more later in life. But just the essence of that group of friends is like something I really wanted. I wanted like a big friend, big black friend that was loud. I wanted like, I just wanted all the friends that he had, I wanted in my circle. And I think that was like a big thing that was like, but Shabada, number one on the list of like what I thought I could be. That. Oh, Shabada is like, he's so different now compared to what he was then. But him and also Oliver Samuels were like two big like out gay guys who live in Jamaica, who were like big actors who rinsed the UK out of their money because they were so amazing. You know, Oliver Samuels still does shows. Catford Theatre. Oliver Samuels still does it now. Oliver Samuels will book out the whole thing and do his show, and all the money will go to him. Crazy. And I'm telling you, sold out like the whole of Christmas. One man. Like it's mad. God. Yeah.
I'm missing out.
Yeah, it's still around now. I think he just celebrated his like 65th birthday or some shit. Like he's old. Like he's older in bits. Crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you imagine how fit? So you're like 60. He's so bad. He's carrying. He's an old gay.
Woo! Yo, okay, wait. All right, I haven't even answered it. Okay. So my answer to this, right? Because, you know, when it came to people I saw growing up that I aspired to be, I did have straight men that I aspired to be career-wise, you know what I mean? Like, I wanted to be like a Pharrell, a Timbaland, or like a Rodney Jerkins, and I love George Michael, but then I also love George Michael, and I always had like little glimpses of it, but it was very hard to come by where they were like out and proud of it, you know? And, you know, it's only been in recent years. My mom was a massive Whitney Houston fan, right? And I was also a massive Luther Vandross fan. And these are two people where they were like in the closet and they couldn't even come out at the end of it all. And I think that while I was like inspired by them, like I was I was at the same time inspired not to have that same trajectory, because I know that's like really sad. And it's a shame that they weren't able to live their truth before they died. And
agreed.
But to then segue that into a more positive note, one question I really wanted to ask you guys, and just kind of like get a gauge of, especially even as all that the Black Lives Matter movement has really like escalated even more in the past few months, right? Because of everything with George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. I'm interested to know what your experiences have been like in, you know, even because, you know, they say Black Lives Matter, they say it, but they don't always, as we've grown up and as we've seen in some instances, it's not always like all Black Lives Matter. There's definitely a type of Black person or a group of Black people that they're going to say that they'll protect, you know, and that there's not even any two ways about it. And then the other side that are maybe closer to us, like they, you know, would leave aside. Like, what are your experiences, you know, with your even your sexuality in predominantly Black spaces next to Caucasian spaces or spaces where it's more spread out in that way? I would like to start off with Hicks.
Well, for me, I don't really consider any space a safe space. So I walk through life on guard at all times, whether I'm going into a white space or a queer space or a gay space, a lesbian space, because any bitch is gonna try it, period. So
Yeah.
for me, and I wear my sexuality on my sleeve, and I'm really proud about both my, you know, African American identity and my homosexuality. So I'm always on guard. So,
man, it's true. Can be that way. And does anyone else want to interject? Just Shantania?
No, go on.
For me, like, I have like that same type of vibe. Like, I watch my back regardless. I'm observant of every situation, of everyone, every movement, everything to know if I'm not safe or not. Trust my intuition always. But I feel like for me, like, I'm just scared to go to Jamaica at this point. Like, my mom lives there, so I'm really scared to go back. Like, I'm scared to put up anything about her, where she lived, anything, just because I just feel like people are so bad-minded. They'll always try to find a reason. And, you know, with Jamaicans, and because I'm from country, so it's even more, like, hard. Like, they'll find any type of reason they would hurt her because I am with a girl. You know what I mean? So it's just like, raw, you have to really watch your back. But I try to walk very free and to act like I create my own rules and I don't care what anybody else thinks. And when it comes to the whole Black Lives Matter movement and all that, and some matter and some don't, I just feel like people make things so difficult. Just if you're saying Black Lives Matter, just include everybody in it. Like, what's the big, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like people are just hypocrites. They love to pick and choose and segregate people in order to maintain control. And I'm in fear to go back to where I live. Imagine. It's like they're winning, but they won't for long. That's my take on it. Hello?
To jump in on that. No, to jump in on your point.
No, you talking about Jamaica? I'm like,
you're spitting facts. We need to absorb that.
Sorry, I don't know what happened.
You know? Sorry, I get so shy when I talk, and you know, I just like, okay, that's it.
Jay, what do you want to say, Jay?
Am I frozen?
No, not all.
Okay, well, you lot are frozen, so everyone's face is very smiley, so I'll keep that up for now. I'm gonna go off the back of like what you were saying, like, yeah, like going sometimes, well, because I live in Peckham, which is obviously close to Brixton. Brixton is kind of like a little Jamaica in some sense, and then Peckham is like a little Nigeria. Like, it's very like African in that area, and it is very weird. I don't know, walking through life from secondary school in the beginning in like 2003 to now, so much has changed. So for me, like, I had my back up once because of gang violence. You know, you can't walk in certain ends because people clock you and then they try, you know, take your phone or whatever the drama was. But over time, it's gone further and further away from that and more into like super open, very gentrified, gay people holding hands through the street. And I'm like, are you sure you want to do that? Because this area is notorious for, you know, Bun Batty Boy, all this other shit. And
Sure.
when I go into spaces, I make sure that everyone understands. I'm telling you, owner, security, hunter, whoever. Like, I definitely feel like I wear my sexuality on my sleeve. I wear it on my sleeve in terms of like I wear what I want, regardless of like gender clothing and stuff like this. But I make sure that they understand that this space is mine. Like, this space is mine. The party I'm doing is mine. The ball I do, the ball that I put on is mine. Everyone that comes into the room, you're not gonna tell me like where people are gonna change. Oh, girls separated from boys and all this other drama. You're not gonna do any of that. The toilet, all accessible. I'm not having it. Like, I will literally not work with a venue, regardless of like how much money you want to throw at it. I will not work with a brand, venue, person if they're not open to what I want. And I think I just roll through life like that. Although I do have my backup a lot in terms of walking the street with my boyfriend. My boyfriend always wants to hold hands. He's very affectionate. But I'm like, if someone talks left, I'm going to prison. Like, I'm going to prison, period. Like, I don't, like, you say one thing. Like, I remember I was on the way back. For example, I was on the bus back from staff. I worked in like a hospitality place for like a month. And then they had like a Christmas party, which I always knew was going to be lit. So I stayed. And I had this Christmas party. It was really lit. On the way back on the bus, the guy was like, "Oh, you guys gay?" I just turned to this bitch. I said, "What the fuck do you want?" And I just escalated. Like, in my head, I was like playing out scenarios and like going in, like really getting myself worked up to the bone about something that he just asked a question about. But also, from looking at the news, especially in the UK, people are getting beaten up left, right, and centre, getting gay bashed, and 2 women got beaten up on the bus once, and all this other stuff. And there's never really like a reprimand for these people that does stuff. So the first thing you do is like act super crazy, which I definitely got from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, is act crazy, and they're not gonna do nothing. But then if they do, you're gonna have to fight, and that's it. That's kind of like my perspective on it.
Thank you for that.
But yeah.
I felt that. I really, really did. Fucking hell.
Sorry, I felt it as well.
You protect me from that, right?
Yeah, I protect my shit. Like, I protect myself.
You're passionate.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna have, especially if like my mum, like coming out to my mum was like, I don't know if this is a part of the question, but coming out to my mum, like, for me, was like so hard. So anyone that wants to like have a 2 pence about something, like, no one put 50p in you, so why do you have a lot to say? And then it just puts my back up automatically. I just want to like,
I hate this. What? Oh my god.
But yeah,
listen,
that's my
unreal, right? Like, that actually does segue nicely into my next question of even just someone having an anecdote about their coming out experience and like, okay, maybe this is where like I'll interject, but like, I know for me it was, I like for you, it's hard coming out as a Black person to your family because the origins on which we all come from are homophobic. So it's like the very root of it is just like, even then mixed with Christianity, like all religion, all that stuff is always like a factor in everyone's feelings about it, right? I came up to my mom when I was, I'm going to say 19. I was 19 and I came up to my dad when I was 20. And my mom, she was fine with it. Any boyfriend I had, she'll call them a friend, whatever. My dad, like, did not take it well. My mom told me that he was in bed crying for 3 days. I'm like, are we actually doing this right now? Can everybody get a grip? Because it's just like, and we had conversations, and it's still iffy because I decide to do things like this where I want to talk about it and I want to discuss it and connect with other people who have been through similar experiences. And whenever I'm putting out music and, doing all this stuff, that's like a call for me to be like, if you feel the same way, holla. Like, I don't want to be feeling like the only person in any situation. but the coming out thing is actually like an ongoing thing. It's not like I've come out and everything is the way it could possibly be. It's the best it could be right now, but it's not like optimum. There's still always some secrets. It's never like, I don't have it like some people do where they can have conversation with their parents about their boyfriends, or, you know, have their boyfriends over to stay over at the family home. Like, it's definitely not even remotely that. So, you know, the coming out thing, like you say, it's hard, Jen. Like,
So hard. So hard.
It's
I wrote a whole letter being like, I'm a man now, all this other shit. Like, and then I was like, literally, and I wrote a letter. Literally. But I also did the whole thing of like, hi, I'm gay. Okay, bye. I'm leaving the house.
Great.
Because most of the people I know that came out, mums kicked them out of their house. So I was like, literally, I was like, let me give you all of it in one, digest that. And then she also helped me find the house I found. Like, you know, she knew my boyfriend. He was a friend in the beginning. And now I can have conversations with my mum. She's completely supportive, especially because she's like engrossed herself into ballroom. Like, she like does the door. She welcomes everyone. She like, you know, she's always. You came to my ball. My mum was on the door for the one you came to. Yeah. So like, she's on the door.
Mother.
She's actually mother. Okay.
Yeah.
And people see her, and I'm like, everyone's like, oh my God, like I cannot believe your mom. Like, especially like the girls from Paris. Like, some of them have to like. For me, I feel like some of them live double life a little bit. Some people do. I think everyone does, especially if you're in ballroom. It's a bit hard to like be yourself in like every form because everyone wants to judge you, and because you know you walk Vogue femme, but you know you are top and all this other shit.
Well, I imagine that it's like because like, you know, in the ballroom, like it congregates so many people and so many experiences that's never going to just be one monolith like thing. They all have different bits of progress in everything. It could be transitioning. It could be coming out. It could be all these things. It's never like all on this because the gay thing is such a spectrum and such a long story.
Yeah, exactly. But I've just been grateful that she's like a person I can call and be like, guess what he did? Blah, 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 blah. You know, now we're to a point where I didn't think I could have that conversation. You know, I didn't think I could have that conversation back in the day. But yeah, I feel super blessed to do that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that is so nice. Like, I feel like with my mom, she was like, "Whoa, me I got dead." She acted like someone was about to kill her, and she said that she's gonna drop out, she's gonna faint. Did the whole dramatics. Then she cried, and then she texted me like some long paragraphs. And afterwards, she was cool. And anytime me and my partner have an argument, this is why if you go in, man. Every time, like, I speak to my family, it was about something. This is why if you go in, man. Don't like this lesbian thing. I'm like, but you like the girls, so like, I just feel like the truth, like, sometimes even though they kind of accept whatever it is and they try to go with the flow, like, some of them have their true feelings hidden behind this. For my friends, my fam, everything. And I have like my sister, she's like a tomboy stud in Jamaica. My cousins here, some of them are like lesbos and stuff. They're all cool, but with me, I feel like they're very hard. I mean, I feel like it's because of this whole public figure thing. And my mom's like, I feel like she gets a little bit embarrassed because like Jamaican people love to chatty every time. So every time she goes out, it's like they're just trying to say something. Oh, Shantania, you're gonna get a man, yeah. Shantania's da. So she feels a bit like. But I said to her, at the end of the day, yeah, I take care of you, fam. It's my life. I get one to live. You live yours, and you're back home. I'm here, mine. So regardless, I can take care of myself. I don't need to rely on nobody for nothing. You're here, and I'm taking care of you. So you either support me or I don't support you. Sorry, it's as simple as that. What else can I say? You know what I mean? 100%. Like, you're meant to love me. You're gonna love me. Get me? Like, I don't care. You don't have no choice. You put me here, so you're gonna love me regardless. Thanks.
But Jamaicans are like that. You know that. Like, Jamaicans are like that.
They can be. I don't have massive liberty to say, but they. Anyway, point is, all right. So, Cakes, Shamir,
Come,
Vincent,
right.
we share a thing in that we're performers, and we're in the pub, we're like singers, and we have dealt with like having to weave it into our art and like do it that way and try to manage our private life and it being our public life, in our lyrics, in our music, in our public personas. How has it been for let me even start off with Shamir. Like, how has it been for you? I know I got familiar with your work when I was 18, like when you came up with hi hi howdy howdy hi hi. I love that song. You know what you did with that song.
You were 19 because we were both 19. I was 19.
That's T. I was 19. Maybe I was just turning 19.
I'm screaming. Clock them.
No, it's easy because we're the same age. So it's like, but yeah, I got you. What's the question again? I'm sorry.
The question was, how have you dealt with it as far as like being a performer and your family and them accepting that you're just expressing yourself in your music and being yourself?
Well, I'm actually I'm very privileged when it kind of comes to like acceptance and coming out and everything. I actually never really like officially came out. I think more than anything, I think if there was like because I've always been very feminine and everything. I think if anything, the question that maybe my family had was, what was my gender identity above anything else, and I think during that time, I just didn't have the language for what I was. Like, I didn't know what non-binary was until I kind of, started coming out and becoming in the public eye, because more than anything, I kind of just felt it was important for me to have the correct labels. And I think just along the way, as like my family read my interviews and stuff, I guess that's how they kind of like learn terminology, like non-binary and stuff. But my mom's a new age West Coast hippie. She's like very like whatevs. My dad is cool as well. I go to brunch and dresses with him. He doesn't mind. So I'm really blessed and privileged on that half. Especially just because my family just isn't, they aren't religious. I was raised Muslim, but kind of everyone kind of fell out of religion and kind of always done their own thing. So
yeah. That's, I mean, because we don't even, sometimes like when we hear these experiences, we only hear the experiences of just having to have this conversation and there just being like no gaydar or no sense of anything, and you have to it has to be this event, whereas like in your sense, you've only just known you to be who you are, the way you are, and there's never had to be a discussion or even a thought. It's just like, this is you. And that's a beautiful thing, and a beautiful thing that you've never had to explain it. But then of course when it comes to work and everyone else, when you actually have that in your intimate setting, that's a luxury, and then it's about everyone else's issues with it or everyone else's perceptions of you that you don't know and that have nothing to do with you. And no, that's great, Shamir. I love that. Was beautiful. And Vincent, my love, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Are you still awake? I know this is so early for you.
I'm with you.
So
It's fine. I'm fine. I'm awake. It's fine. I had some wine. We're good. It's the same thing. Yes. It's funny because I've never heard someone else have the same experience as me. I was really fortunate in the sense of having a family who, it was never really a conversation. It was just who I was. And I'm sure that my parents did research after kind of noticing and finding out, because I would invite boys over from middle school to like watch movies, and I'd be like, Mom, I think he's great. He's really cute. I just want to like watch TV, and like if we could have like some lunch, it'd be cute. But like if you don't want to, it's okay. But never like the sense of like this could be something wrong. It was more so it was just something I was doing. And I think my parents, because of the trauma that they had with their parents, and not like my mother went through a lot of adoption agencies, and my father and his parents didn't really like see eye to eye. And I think it was more so we have an opportunity here to raise our child unconditionally, or we may lose them as our parents lost us. And so that was like a blessing for me. My mom always says, like, I raised you, so don't let anyone else raise you. You go out and you be who you want to be. And when you come back to me, I'll tell you if it's wrong or if it's right. And we'll like help each other out and we'll decide. For me, it was the rest of the world, because I went to Catholic school from kindergarten until 12th grade. And it was fucking miserable. Catholics are terrible people, and I'm not saying that about all of them, but the ones that I experienced were awful people.
Yeah.
But it made me speak out more and be as gay and flamboyant as I needed to be, as I wanted to be, and as I had to be, because I saw other kids around me who could not fathom being themselves in that kind of area, in that kind of space. And that wasn't an option for me. I don't believe in kind of shrouding this for anyone. I'm gay, and whatever space I walk into, it's mine. It's not up for question or up for conversation, negotiation, because that doesn't happen with anyone else. So I won't have the conversation. I won't have the conversation of, do you feel comfortable that I'm here? I don't care if you feel comfortable that I'm here. Do I feel comfortable that you're here? You know what I mean? That's not up for conversation for me. We're very like, JJ and I are very like, because we're very Aries, and I get it. It's very much, I'm not here to have a conversation with you if you feel okay that I'm in the space. Honey, it's my space. I'm like, when people ask about bringing people to the table, babe, I'm the table. Like, there's no conversation there. So yeah, that's how I feel.
That's great. No, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're in my space. You're disrupting what I'm doing.
Literally, I
But
have
to be
not asked the
honest,
thing.
like in agreement, but also like Kate, like from feedback I've had from friends that's been to your show, like Cakes, like you're similar. You're kind of like all the black people come on stage, you know. And that's so refreshing to see and hear, you know, from friends that are like, oh my god, I went to see Cakes Da Killa and he did this thing that I was like, oh my god, like that's great stuff. And I think more people that do that, I'm like, yeah, I'm doing the right thing. Yeah,
well, you know I'm Banji,
the
so
right
that's
thing
what
to
it's
do.
about.
Yeah.
That's about the Banji life.
Yeah.
But I came out in the 3rd grade, so I didn't give my mother any like headroom to like decide. I was like, she found a love note that somebody had written me, and then I tried to eat it and I couldn't eat it, and she chased me around the house, and then she was like, "All right."
Everybody's just silent.
Has the sound gone?
I think it's a connection.
My connection?
All right,
It's back.
you're back. You're back, baby.
Okay. So I watched the documentary, so I knew I was a queen.
Yes, exactly. And that's it.
And that's I couldn't be discreet, so yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
So you paused for so long, and then you just came back with
That was
quiet. That was great. Okay. Okay, so the next question I have for you guys, and I guess like, you know, it's funny. I'm like looking at some of these questions, and some of these questions are like, yeah, okay, I can ask that, but like, you know, sometimes I can just be like a straight shooter. I just want to ask like the hard hitting questions. I want to get into the facts. I want to get into
that.
I want to know. All right.
Do that.
The question I have for you guys, I'm going to answer first, right? Because I have a very interesting tidbit with it. And it is, do you ever have a complex, or maybe just even an instance, where you see a Caucasian or Caucasian person who's in the same line of work as you, in the same field as you, and ever have a complex where you feel that if you ever ask yourself the question, if I was white, that would have been me? And I will answer that with, I had that initially in the first few years of my recording career, because it was Sam Smith. It was Years and Years, Ollie. And I think I always had like a vendetta against Sam, like initially, because like one, I was really young and I was just super ambitious, and I was just like, yeah, if I was white, this song wouldn't have gone to number 38. Like if that was Sam Smith saying, nah, it wouldn't have been number 38. Like I was a bratty little Scorpio who just wanted to get a hit, and just thinking, oh, like, god damn, like if that was me, like if it was the other way around, people perceive me differently. And I have, like, I think I feel similar ways, but it's not to a point where I'm like throwing daggers at somebody or putting all the blame on one person more than I am just the structure of life and the structure of like anything we do has been built on. You know, we are always going to be second fiddle, but at the same time, we are always going to be our best. And I know it's not about me seeing myself as lesser because I'm Black. You know, I love being Black. I never wished to be white. I guess the question of like, oh, if I was white, this would have been this and that. We're never going to know that, because I'm not going to go to any Amazon, anything to get bleaching cream, and nor can I do anything to change the fact that I'm bloody Black. So, God darn, like I just got to actually make the best of all my situations. And now I've got number one. Now I'm gonna direct the question back to.
Don't try to skip over that shit, bitch.
Yeah, we can't just.
Shit, real quick. You try to skip over it.
You tried to really go about that. Wow.
Okay. Now I now want to direct the question over to let me go to Shamir. What do you think? In your situation, have you ever had that feeling?
Listen, in the indie space, are you kidding me? I think about it all the time. You know, seriously, because in the indie space, a lot of times, you know, because in the pop space, you know, Black people are taking over, right? As they very well should. And is very obvious. And in a lot of ways, it feels like in the indie space of things, it feels like that's their safe haven, you know. Yeah. And I feel like they try their hardest to like keep it that way. So I think they felt a little bit more safe initially when I came in because I was more pop leaning. Sure. And so they were like, okay, I don't feel as threatened by Shamir. And then when I picked up the guitar and started leaning more to the indie rock side of things, that's when I felt some embrace, but that's when I started to kind of feel like initial pushback, mostly because I knew what it was because I was Black, and not only Black, but Black and queer, you know, in this space that is traditionally, not even traditionally, but mostly known for, you know, straight white dudes. Right. So in a lot of ways, it's often not even just a conversation for me, but even now as the Black Lives Movement situation started, a lot of my white indie peers are looking at themselves and looking at their rosters and seeing how white it is, you know, and a lot of people are like, but Shamir's right there. So what? You know, why is he self-releasing his record right now? You know, like what's going on, you know? So definitely in recent times, that spotlight has just been put on everyone. I try not to think about it because I just want to make good art, you know, like you said, that's all I care about at the end of the day. But I know things would be different if I was white. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean, of course, but then it's like, this is the thing, these are things that we'll never know. Sorry, let's start again. These are things that we'll never know. True. And like, it's just, you know, I guess these are questions that we do ask ourselves. And if we've ever had, I guess it's a question I'm asking because, you know, I think we've all had that instance where we've seen someone who is of a paler complexion, who is doing something, and you know, obviously everything is subjective. You know, everyone has their opinions on anything and what is good and what is bad, whatever. But then you see it and you're like, okay, I'm working this much harder. I'm doing all this, and this person is doing half of that, and it's being deemed exceptional or deemed like all those things. Like, you know, we've seen it many a time, like in the industry where there's been women of dark complexion who probably can do everything and more, twice more than people who are lighter than them. And then it's like always flipped the other way around.
That's me every day. If I was white, yeah, I'd have gone pay the proper rate. I have people who do less than me, who less engagement, less following, they get paid double than what I do. And then when I tell them about themselves, the company, yeah, then they're like, oh yeah, you're being aggressive. Okay. What do you mean, fam? Like, listen, yeah, it's all about justice in this world, yeah. And of course, we have to work 10 times as hard just to be seen first. And then they look at our genius. And then they take our genius and then they just take everything out and then give it to the next person who's more, you know, what's that word? But like, you're like,
Palatable.
yeah, to everybody, you know what I mean? Like, it happens every day in the influencer industry. Even like people of the European persuasion, all that type of stuff, like they have such bad behavior, but then they still get rewarded for all the stuff that they do, which is nada, and they still get the most budget, etc. And we're just the little black people in the corner just doing a little 1-2 year and trying to be all cute to, you know, attract these people. You know, it's so long. I always say this to brands, yeah, when they say, oh, don't be intimidated. I'm like, listen, I don't lick nobody's ass. Like, at the end of the day, yeah, I come straight and I'm respectful and I'm honest and I'm myself. And if you want me, then you want all of me. And this is my rate, this is what I expect, and this is what I'm going to take. And it's been working very well. They know not to fuck with me. They're scared. If they're really that scared of all this, be scared. I am going to use it as my advantage. Where's my money there? Where's my promo? Where's everything? I'm not going to pity party myself because I'm white.
Yes.
Take the time. I'm demanding what I need because I worked hard to get here. And if you don't see it, then why am I even entertaining you? It's long.
Well,
People
yeah.
being push about everything. Listen, give me my money. I don't care.
No shade. Hashtag
Tea.
give me my money.
That deserves a sip of water.
Hashtag give me my money. The Aries energy is up in the building. It's true though. It's so true. In like a boring, like in a boring perspective, I never really match myself to like white counterparts because I'm like, you know, I'm a house father. I do my shit. I look after my kids. I'm very much everyone's welcome into the scene I try to build. But it's just crazy to me that people, especially in the Bourne community, and this is 100% facts, that will root for people, you know, on the floor because, you know, they're cute and whatever, and they'll be doing the same thing that the black girl be doing, but the black girl will get voted over. And then when like Black Lives Matter is all obviously popping off, right? When those white counterparts with the shitloads of social media following are being very silent, people are still posting their clips on different pages. The people who do cultural appropriation, they're still getting posted. It doesn't make any sense, right? It's like keep the same energy, no shade. Like these people have to get reprimanded. Like let me get this straight. Let me be very clear. Sorry, my house has white people in it. My Kiki house plus my major house has white people in it. I am very much about everyone being in the scene. If anyone is like behaving odd or out of character or, you know, very silent, I'm very happy to say something. I'm very happy to be like, hi, do you have anything to say? You know, I'm very like that. I'm like, do you have anything to say? Because it's beyond me how silent people are when, you know, just because this person might have 50K followers. I remember I was in a back and forth with a whole Russia, you know, being like, yo girl, you live off the culture. You already have blackface in your fucking dance competition. We're not letting it, like, people let that side in the beginning, but let me give you now English, and let me come at you in English, and maybe if I have to translate from English to Russian, we're going to have a conversation about it, you know? And the very much feedback I got, or the response I got was very like, oh, we don't want to do witch hunt. I'm sorry, what? Witch hunt? No, it's no witch hunt. I know who the fuck I'm talking to. I'm talking to this bitch right here. Like, and I just have zero time for this kind of like energy around it. I always did in the beginning. The scene was very split between like black and white, in my opinion, and it was very clear. Other people would say no, it wasn't, but it was. And I just had to turn around and be like, you know what, I'm gonna do my thing, you know. And since then, those people don't really do as much as I've done, and that's very, very true. You know, they've had great professional careers. They've like taken a step out and stuff like this, but you know, if you're really about the scene, like you would be here like consistently trying to push something, consistently trying to create a community, consistently doing stuff, not just for clout. And sometimes I just feel like a lot of the times that people like, especially white counterparts, come into ballroom, it's not just because of I need a safe space. Mostly it's because it's the in thing right now. And that's like so annoying because I feel like I want to talk on everything, but sometimes not every hill is the one to die on. So I try to like keep it to myself, but I have kitchen table talks, and anytime I like talk on these like kind of platforms, I will say the honest truth that people are way too silent to like white counterparts about the stuff that they've done wrong, but ready to like support them and post their images and their videos and their clips when they've done good, and it doesn't make sense. Like we have to be very like clear about what we're doing. You know, very
have
clear.
To be excellent. Like the sad thing about being a black person is that, you know, I actually think all of you are excellent at what you do. You know, and that's, you know, first of all, the main reason why I've asked you all to be a part of this and to talk to you. And like, I know you're fantastic at what you do, obviously, because in order to exist in this industry, we have to be excellent at what we do, because if we're mediocre, it doesn't even slide. We can't even be mediocre. You can't even just be like chilling, just figuring shit out. We have to be like prepared to like, we have to be giving everyone the full fucking package and shit. I mean,
we also have to take all the money.
Fine, but like also, you know, can I give the floor to, you know, Vince and Cakes? Like, what are your views on all of this that we've been saying just now?
Am I coming in loud and clear?
We can hear you, boo.
Oh, you want to go, Vince?
I mean, I feel like mine's gonna be a little aggressive, so you should go first, and we'll
okay.
You go for it.
Okay, I'll pass the baton when I'm done. For me, it's never an issue about race or like me wanting to be black, because I came up in more of like a hip hop realm. So for me to be white, I don't think that would have make or break my trajectory. For me, it was always an issue of presenting as far as masculinity versus femininity. And I feel like I've had thoughts if I was more masculine, where my career would have gone. But that wasn't based on how straight people consume me. That was mainly how my own people consume me, because I felt like a lot of the times I was treated as being either too campy or too effeminate or too this by my own community. So for me, that has always been one of my issues. All right, go ahead, Vince. Carry now.
I know Vince got a lot to say.
There's something on his spirit.
In the pop world, come on.
Yeah.
Spit.
With the pop world game, because I'm just a hip hop girl.
I'm gonna try to say this in a very unaggressive way, because I don't want to be aggressive, because there's no reason to right now. Because I do pop, and it is very like mainstreamy, and there are nothing but blonde white girls that do this, and gay skinny white boys that do it. And I have been constantly pitted against them when I go into situations and I'm being paid maybe $5K less than someone, and I'm doing a full set. They're just there to do a song. They're there to do something mediocre. Do you know what I mean? And it's not to say that they're not good at what they do. I'm just better at what I do. And that's not me being full of myself. I put a lot of work into what I do. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, I bring dancers, I bring a full vocal, no track, bitch. I can sit here and sing a cappella. We're giving you what I got to give you. And I always felt like I was just being gypped out of the situation. And so about a month ago, I had a conversation with Paradigm, my agency, and I was like, from henceforth, the rate that I need to have is the rate that I need to have. There is no question about it. I'm tired of being pitted against these people who are not giving what I'm giving you, who are not bringing you what I'm bringing you, who every time they put out a single, the world blows up because y'all are so backing against them, and I'm fighting for scraps when I'm literally giving you Beyonce and they're giving you Latavia, and I don't understand where we
You
have
don't need to bring
mixed up
Latavia
the.
into this, Vincent.
We love her.
Now you crossed the line.
I meant to say Farrah. I meant to say Farrah. I didn't mean to say Latavia. That was my
That's
that
the
was my
line.
bad. That was my fault.
I thought you said you wasn't going to be aggressive.
I tried not to, but it just came out. She's sitting back here.
Oh, God.
It's early. I didn't mean to. No, I meant to say Farrah, but Latavia came to mind. But you know what I mean? It's just a
This is
sense
what
of
Vincent had on his spirit.
Spirit.
it's just I'm tired of I got past the point of doing, like you said, we give 110% every time. There is no room for mistakes. There's no room for us to not be the best there. And I got fucking tired of being treated like I was giving you scraps when I was giving you a full meal. So I wanted to be given what I was supposed to be given. And so I think it's
And bitch, I've seen your art
it's a weird
perform, and like I've seen your art perform, and you give the girlies a show. You know, you do give the girlies a vocal, and indeed far more than a two-step. So like, you know,
I just want to make I want to make sure that I'm paid, but I also want to make sure that people but I want to make sure that people that I work with also get what they need. Like people work for me, and I want to make sure that they have money. I don't want to make sure they leave a gig with like $200. I want to make sure they can go home after these 2 gigs we played and pay their rent, get groceries, pay their bills, and Uber. Like, you know what I mean? I expect to be treated the same way the Troys, the Kims, all of these people get treated when they walk into these spaces. I won't settle for anything less.
And you know what? Like I've had the same like feelings about things like this. Like I've often felt, oh, you know, like even when it came down to like, I've had to realign my own career and realize that what I do is very different to what Troy is doing, Ollie is doing, Sam is doing. Like, it's very different. Like I'm a writer producer as well, and it's not like my life does not depend on me singing. You know what I mean? It helps. It's not bad, but it's, you know, I'm able to make money for other things. So it's not like I don't have to put so much pressure on myself, especially when like there's so many things that are blocking that can block that and make me feel shit about myself when I know that I'm not shit. I know that I'm here for a reason. I know that like what I do has value, and whatever I bring to something, there's added value to it because I've been a part of it. So it's just about remembering that, because the structure can take that like confidence away from us, and it can also like just make us doubt ourselves. And like, kudos to you, Vincent, for like knowing that no, the problem is them. like I'm here. I
didn't always know that, but like but like it took a while. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, you get there.
I think also like all of us, I think obviously is this in the same breath, but I'm happy you said it. But like, yeah, like pay me for what I am, pay me my worth. And that is it. Why is there if or but or maybe or discount or less than? Like, pay me what I am worth. And I think a lot of queer people of color especially need to remember this, because there's too many times where a gig has come my way and I've been like, no, I'm not doing it. It's not. I don't do free. You're not my friend. I'm not gonna do free. And people will go and do it. And I understand some people want to be seen, but when one of us do it, it's like a knock-on effect, because then they can go, well, Vincent, for example, as you made the $5,000 example, well, Vincent did it for $5,000 less. It's like that's not it's like a knock-on effect. And I think like we really have to get into the mindset of like, pay me my dues and end of conversation. You know?
Hello?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I hear it too many times. I'm so happy you said that. It just right, exactly. Child.
Yeah,
like I can go back on email. I need to do emails today.
Yo, okay, all right. Now, let me round this off, because, you know, we've said a lot. We've actually touched on so many of the questions I was going to ask. So let me, like, actually now ask you guys, what are you all up to right now? What are the things that people can be looking out for? What you do? This is your time to showcase, tell everyone about yourself, promo yourself. This is a YouTube production. So I'm giving the floor to everybody, and I want to start with Vincent. What are you working with and then you twerking with?
I just started a new project. I'm actually dropping the first promo for it today. I just finished the last one, and it's like a new era, and it's dance music, and I want people to feel good. And so you'll see it today if you follow me on Instagram. It's
He got his rage out.
VINCINT. Now I'm doing promo, and I'm calm.
the press junket.
Album. Yeah.
Hello.
This is the Beyonce that he's talking about.
Yes.
I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit.
Hello.
Who are you working
That's
with?
my stuff.
Who are you working with?
It's been Jay Hart, who I love. He is amazing. And a non-binary producer who I've been working with for the last 2 years. Their name is Storyboards, and they are amazing. And it's been some of the most beautiful stuff I've ever done.
Storyboards. Yes, it was at Jay Hart's party. It was at Jay Hart's party. They're very talented.
So great. Yeah, I'm excited.
And they also serve a good beat.
Hello.
Just space. What about you, Cakes? How are you doing? What are you working with?
Yeah, staying busy in America. I just dropped a single, Dundada, which is coming off of my new EP I'm dropping in the fall called Motherland, which is basically a house EP that I've been working on since I've been in quarantine. So yeah, check me out on all social media except OnlyFans at Cakes Da Killa.
Yes.
She didn't get to that point yet. I didn't get to that point yet, but maybe stay tuned.
I saw you on Twitter contemplating and asking, being like,
I mean, these girls are getting bags, and I don't have a number one.
Hey,
so I might have to go reroute.
How about you, Shamir? What we saying?
Yeah, so I'm in the middle of cycle right now. Just released my first 2 singles. I'm releasing my self-titled record, my 7th self-titled record, my 2nd one this year. And then I also, so the 3rd single for that comes out next month. And then I also have the 2nd single for another record that I'm releasing under my label, Accidental Popstar Records. That's about it. Just those 2 records. And yeah, my record will be out October 2nd. So I'm excited.
And I know you obviously had all this stuff with Excel and the first record you made, and you've come such a long way since that. So I'm sure you're viewing making the music in a different way now than you were initially, and you seem like you're in a much better place. I think I've now social media. You seem happier.
Yeah, I'm doing the music that I always kind of imagine myself doing. I think the first record on Excel was meant to be experimental, and I was just so young and naive and didn't realize the impact of first impressions. So it was a long journey, a long 5 years kind of reestablishing myself. And I think now I've reached kind of this height and pinnacle where everyone is kind of paying attention on the relative same level as Ratchet when it first came out, and people are like, oh, this is Shamir, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I've been telling you all the last 5 years.
That's so true. Congrats though, babe. I'm happy for you. I'm very happy. I've been watching from afar and just seeing you doing your thing, and I heard, is it On My Own?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yes, I heard that one. I love it. I was actually cleaning my room to it the other day, and I was like, it's very good. And then I think a bunch of your other stuff came on from past stuff, and I was like, this is nice playlist.
I have so many records. What I did before, so this is the first record since 2017 that I've done cycle for, because I kind of hate them. I hate press realistically. So I have 3 records that I just released just throughout there and was just like, there you go.
I mean, it's great that you have the confidence to put it out and just like go for it. I know I definitely have those kind of records that I've made in between projects and just have said, no, I don't want to put this out. I'm just terrified. Like, I wish I was more just like, I want to put this out. That's how I'm feeling right now.
Well, I don't have no label, so who go check me, boo?
Period. Okay, so Shantania, the floor is yours.
Well, my new single just came out. I'm joking, cussing for shit, man. I can dance though.
Oh, queen, walk out
You.
there. Get out there.
You need to make one Yardy tune. Yeah.
I feel like you would drop the fattest tune though. I really feel like you would. I would produce it too. Like, don't just all you gotta do is text me, boo.
It has to be sexual, because I'm a sexual goddess, you know.
Yeah.
But, I really enjoyed my job being a blogger and stuff, but it has no depth to it. So in my whole journey, I'm doing my increased psychic abilities stuff. I'm studying counseling because I feel like young black youths, they're not able to really express themselves, or when they grow older, all this trauma, reflects on their adult life, which makes it harder. And I feel like our people need to be woke, and it starts with the mental health. So I'm studying my counseling. So by the end of the year, I should be qualified, tied in with my spirituality stuff. And then I'm working with the normal brands, busy, doing all that influencer stuff. And then I'm doing charity work now. So like I'm working with a charity. We're trying to get one of the big sports brands to sponsor us. I think we're going to break that 40K budget we're trying to get. And then we're going to use that to help the people who are undocumented, who are going through mental illnesses, who've got all this type of stuff. So, and for the youth as well. So that's really, really exciting. I just want to be someone, be about something, help people, heal people, make them feel good about themselves. So I'm stepping into my power now, and I'm okay with all the following that I've built. It's enough. Now it's time to do some work, honey. I'm excited.
Girl, yes,
You're like a ray of sunshine, I swear.
She really is.
I just felt like just such warmth in my heart. Just you speaking all of that. It feels like it's just coming from the heart. You guys feel that?
That's where it starts, man. That's where it starts. If you love, you ain't got shit, man. People need to know that.
That warmed my spirit.
I make you wet, to all women, all the men. Sorry, I'm joking.
No. But last but not least, how about you, JJ? I know, like, you're just
nothing. I'm not doing nothing.
You're lockless now.
I ain't doing nothing. Yeah, my lock's gone now. Had 2 locks for 6 years. Just cut them off. Was like, you know what? Fuck it. Bye. The journey came to an end. I'm very happy. I still have them in case. Might just reattach that shit. But right now, nothing. Book me. I'm here. I'm doing a lot of shit over Zoom. So I teach voguing classes on Zoom. On Zoom through Patreon. I teach Wednesdays and Sundays. I really need to pick up my Ableton again because I was doing like production classes and stuff like this. Nothing really, honestly. I need to pump the beat mostly. Mostly my day-to-day is cat dads, taking days off, eating tapas, and drinking beer. So I don't really do anything. Like, maybe the gym, maybe let's see, and going to the beach and all of that. But no, nothing really. Honestly, because like I was supposed to like play. Like it's so hard to like play gigs without the club.
Sure.
And without it like being like based around like Boiler Room or some shit. I've done a lot of like stuff with charities. I'm doing a fundraiser next. Oh, is it this Friday? Hold on, 1 second. I'm so sorry. I'm doing a fundraiser this Friday. Lol.
Okay.
And then and it's 4 o'clock where I am. I'm doing a fundraiser this Friday for UK. It's like the whole acronym is very long. It's like UK Trans POC Hardship Fund. It's a hardship fund. And for Metro Charities. So I'm doing that with the Chateau. It's with my party called Let's Have a Kiki. It will be online. I'm guessing it's gonna be fucking Zoom or Twitch or something like this. So yeah, it's supported by the Chateau. I've got DJs, myself. I'm playing. It's like 9 till 12. So that's happening this Friday. Ooh, I was about to miss that out on the promo. And yeah, that's kind of it, really. Just here, I'm about it. Just going against Instagram and them taking down my pictures. That's it. That's the love to it, day by day.
Instagram or a trip, man.
Literally,
Yeah,
I posted like one cute essence picture. I was raising funds for like pro sex work hardship funds here in Madrid. And they took down my picture day. Like, oh, you can see your butt. You can't see my butt. It looks like a back.
The outline of my butt.
I bet
That's not
you can't even see the
recording.
outline because I made
You can't
sure I was
see.
like
You can't
this.
see whole.
I'm
You
not
can't
giving
see
very
whole.
like this.
It's not relax.
You can't see whole. Oh my
You
god.
can't see whole.
But also people have made it very clear to me that other people like 70 pages of people who ask is like there in a G-string and then not taking it down. But me with my little yoga pose, they want to take it down. So anyway, I'm just battling that and just living life really. That's it. Can't do anything else. Thank you.
Listen, these are the battles we face. We can't just show some ass on Twitter or little simple
Literally,
Instagram.
I was about to start OnlyFans because I was like, I'm tired of this social media. Let me get into my.
Make sure you pay your tax if you do.
I'm gonna post it to everyone, hoping to get a little caricature and a coin. So yeah, let's see.
Have you heard about how big their tax bill is? The OnlyFans people, they haven't been paying tax. And they're gonna get got soon, yeah. They're gonna have to pay thousands because they make tea and they ain't paid no tax on it, so they got caught.
How the turntables? Are you glad?
Right. Okay.
Are you feeling better? Are you feeling better about that decision that you made?
That's what happened when you be on Demon Time.
Okay. Testimony.
What are you doing now? Well, what are you doing now, Uzo? Uzo, what's next?
Yeah.
Number one thing.
Number one. I got number one. This is not your first no.
Ooh. This is my first number one as a. It's my first number one as an artist. So it's my first number one as singing. It's my third number one as a songwriter. You know what? I actually don't know what's next. I really don't. Sure. It's a really weird position because if you asked me 2 years ago when my first album came out, if I had a number one single right off the bat like this, I would have been like, period. Like next single, next video. Like I don't see the problem here. But like, it's right now. I'm in such a weird, like, not even weird. It's just different. I guess I'm just growing up. I've been doing this since I was 14, and like, I'm now about to turn 26, and a lot has changed about my outlook and everything, about my obsession about being a pop star, about just even like my self-worth, and so it's like my happiness is about preserving that. It's about actually remembering what I'm here for. Like, I'm here to make music. Getting attention and all of that is really like always be a bonus of that, because there's still so many people that don't know who I am, but I'm still getting to do this for a living every day. And it's like, what am I constantly fighting about or feeling like I need to have more of? And it's like, it's about really getting to grips with that. And in this lockdown, I've really been able to almost rehab in a lot of ways about the whole, I need to be the biggest pop star in the world. When really it's just about, and I say it's ironically now having the number one song in my country. Like, now I'm not obsessed about being the biggest pop star in the world. So now I'm just like, let me just continue doing what I do and doing what clearly people like that I do. And that's like singing on a tune I like, producing a song that I like, working with people that I think are dope. And that's what I've always done. So nothing actually always needs to be, I don't need to be pressuring myself. So basically what's next is less pressure, but hopefully more success.
Wow.
Oh, period. Period.
Thank you, y'all. And I guess that kind of wraps our conversation. How did I do, guys?
It was lovely.
Great. This is awesome.
Yeah,
Fabulous.
I don't know why you're
10.
so shy. I literally don't understand why you're so shy. I literally don't understand.
I don't know. Because I never like, I want to make sure everyone's points got made. I didn't want, like, I really wanted to hear everyone's perspectives on all of this because I've known all of you in varying different formats and like met you in all types of ways, but we've never like gotten into things. And I appreciate when I can talk to people about this stuff and like a very safe setting and like mutual experiences shared and just us kicking and having a great time with each other, like even over like this video situation. I'm really feeling it and it's really brought me much happiness. So I thank you all so much.
Thank you for having us.
All of
Of course,
you.
thanks for having
Thank
us.
everyone. Thank you.
And I just want to make sure I end this by saying the places in which this is being donated towards. This is going to be donated towards UK Black Pride, which is an amazing, event that obviously isn't happening this year because of Miss Rona. And it's really just so we can help them keep on creating spaces for young people of color who are gay, who are queer, who are trans, who are everything under that umbrella LAAA. And I love UK Black Pride. I headlined there last year and I had so much fun. And I know it's a safe space for so many people. And this is what it's all about. Like even in everything that we're doing right now, all of us on this screen, we all play a part in trying to open up vaults for people to feel comfortable in being themselves and give them people that they can relate to. So there's UK Black Pride. Then there's also Mermaids, who's always been very, very, very supportive as far as gender diverse children, trans, since 1995. So this is a charity that's like so important. And I really wanted to bring both those voices together because it's important to all of us. It makes extremely relevant for right now. Black trans lives matter and all Black lives matter. They should matter. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And I know YouTube, hopefully you edit out all the awkward silences. And I love you all and be safe. Bye.
Love you loads, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.